Yo guys, what is up? GP2K here, and today I'm going to be grading every one of the 2021 NFL draft picks, in the first round at least. And whether it's Trevor Lawrence or Kyle Pitts, we all have our opinions on how good we think they're going to be in the NFL. But just today I'm going to be telling you guys how good I think the pick was and if the right team selected them. But before we get into it, please make sure to drop a like on this video. And if you have any ideas for any further videos, leave it down in the comments. And let's get into it. So, guys, for the first pick, the Jaguars took Trevor Lawrence, quarterback out of Clemson. And I like him a lot, so I'm going to give this pick an A+. I think he's an amazing player. Like Mel Kiper and some other guys are comparing him to some of the best quarterbacks ever in the draft, at least. Like Peyton Manning, John Elway, and Andrew Luck. I think he's going to be an absolute beast in the NFL, and that's why I got to give this an A+, even though it was a super easy pick for the Jaguars. Now with the Jets, they took Zach Wilson, and I'm going to give this pick an A- because I think, they got Zach Wilson's probably going to be the #1 overall pick in the draft any other year. So you're getting a #1 overall pick at spot 2. That's great. I got to give you an A-. I think Zach Wilson's going to be good in the NFL too, but just not as good as Trevor Lawrence. And when someone compares your name to Patrick Mahomes, you know that they just have to go #2 overall, if not 1, because Trevor Lawrence is a generational talent. So A- here. I think he's a good player. So now with the 49ers at 3, they took Trey Lance, quarterback out of North Dakota State. And I got to give this pick a B+, because I think Trey Lance, although he's a very good player and has a lot of potential, he could use a lot of developing, and he is going to need developing if he's going to be a good starting quarterback in the NFL, especially in Kyle Shanahan's offense. So for those reasons, I'm giving him a B+, because if you wanted a day 1 starter, you would take Mac Jones, and I think that's what they're trying to do because they also have Jimmy Garoppolo. So B+. And for the Falcons, they drafted Kyle Pitts out of Florida. I got to give it a B. Kyle Pitts is an amazing player, don't get me wrong, but I just think there's more needs there. Like, Kyle Pitts, he's a good player, but your offense already has Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, and I know Julio Jones might be traded, but even without that, Calvin Ridley is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Like, he's at least top 10 wide receiver. And if you already have a best wide receiver, you don't need another. It just doesn't make sense to me, even though he's a great player. Like, I get the pick, but just I don't get it at the same time. So now at 5, the Bengals, they took wide receiver Ja'Marr Chase out of LSU. And I'm giving this pick a B because I think he's an amazing wide receiver, but you already have T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. I just don't get it. Like, Joe Burrow got hurt seriously bad last year. And even though you picked the left tackle in the 2nd round, the best left tackles are in the 1st round, not the 2nd. Like, you can get good wide receiver talent anytime in the 2nd round. You can't always get that with left tackles. So, even though I think he's an amazing player and he's the best wide receiver in this class by far, I got to give this a B because I'm just not sure he's going to be able to get the ball enough because Joe Burrow isn't going to be able to stand upright to give it to him. So now with number 6, the Dolphins, they picked Jalen Waddle out of Alabama. And I don't like this pick at all. I got to give them a C. I feel like there's a big gap between Ja'Marr Chase and Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith. Like, I can if the Dolphins took Ja'Marr Chase here, I would get it, but I just don't get it with Jalen Waddle. Like, you already have decent wide receiver talent with Will Fuller and Devontae Parker. Get Tua some offensive line help. He's going to need it. Like, that, I think that would be a bigger help for Tua than getting him another weapon, even if they are reuniting them. But I just don't understand why. Now for the Lions at number 7, I gotta give them an A. I love Penei Sewell, and they drafted Penei Sewell out of Oregon. I just think he's a generational talent, and even though I have him as the second best player in this draft class, so I honestly think if you can get the second best player in this draft at number 7, steal. Like, that's all I have to say about it. A. The only reason I'm not giving this an A+ is because I feel like if they got this at 10, I would give it an A+, but just with the way this draft was going, I gave it an A because, like, a lot of teams could have gotten him, but they passed on him. So, some teams have him higher than others, but I gotta give it an A just for that. And now for the Panthers at number 8, they picked Jaycee Horn out of South Carolina, cornerback, and I gotta give this a B. And the reason I'm giving it a B is because I think he's the second best cornerback in this draft, and I kind of get because maybe he might be a better scheme fit in Matt Rhule's defense. So I kind of get that. Jaycee Horn was one of the prospects I was a little bit more uneasy about coming into this draft. I just think he has some things that he has to work on. So for that reason, a B. And now for the Broncos at 9, they took Pat Surtain II out of Alabama. And I'm giving it a B+ because I think he's an extremely talented player, but you don't need a cornerback. I think Micah Parsons would be a way better pick here. And even though I like Pat Surtain, I just don't think he would be the best in the Broncos offense. You already have a good secondary for the most part. You signed some good cornerbacks in free agency. You have Callahan. I mean, just what? And you drafted a cornerback in the second round last year. It just doesn't make sense to me. For number 10, the Eagles picked Devontae Smith out of Alabama. And I'm going to give this a B+ because I think they didn't reach for Devontae Smith. This is about where I expected he would go. And honestly, I think Devontae Smith could be a good player, but I'm not sure about him at the Eagles offense because he's going to get all the good cornerbacks on him because the Eagles have no wide receiver talent at all. And if you have a good press cornerback on him, he's just going to be shut down because he doesn't have the best size in the world. So a B+ because I think he has the potential, but I think you got to bring a bigger wide receiver into the program if he's going to be successful. Yeah, now at 11 for the Bears, they drafted Justin Fields out of Ohio State. And I'm going to give this an A- because they knew what they needed coming into the draft. They traded up and got it. And Justin Fields falling, I think that helped them give up a little bit less when they were trading up. So A-, good pick. For number 12 with the Cowboys, they took linebacker Micah Parsons out of Penn State. I'm giving this pick an A. I have him as one of the best prospects in this class. I think he's the best defensive player in this entire draft. And I think he's going to be absolutely a beast in the Cowboys offense with Sean Lee getting a little bit older. And, with Sean Lee getting older, he can fill that void that they've had for a while. They haven't had an elite linebacker since, I'm trying to remember that one guy's name. The Cowboys, they have a really young linebacker, and for some reason I can't remember his name. But he had injuries, and I think he is a little bit of an injury concern. And Micah Parsons is just going to help boost that secondary. Not secondary. Their middle linebacker core a lot. And now for the Chargers, they picked Rashawn Slater, and this one is an A++. This pick is absolutely amazing. You get an amazing left tackle or right tackle, whatever you want to put him at, to protect your franchise quarterback. I just love the pick. They didn't have to trade up to get him at all. They stayed patient, and they got the player they wanted. Great job. And now for 14 at the Jets, they traded up to get this, and trying to protect Zach Wilson, they drafted Elijah Vera Tucker. I got to give this a B+. because I think all guards in first round are amazing, because guard is one of the easier positions to play in the NFL, I believe. And if you look at some of the guards that were taken in previous first rounds, Zach Martin, Quentin Nelson, they're both all pros, and they're both amazing players. And so I got to give this a B+. I think he could be very good, but I think Christian Darrisaw would be the correct choice here. And at 15, the Patriots drafted Mac Jones, and I got to give this a B+. They didn't have to reach at all. Like, they didn't have to draft Kyle Trask here. So I just think they didn't have to trade up, they didn't have to reach, and they stayed patient and got the player they wanted. I think if they could have any quarterback, they would still pick Mac Jones. So great job with them. And now for the Cardinals, they picked Zaven Collins, and I got to give this a B- because he was one of my lower graded linebackers coming into this draft, and I think he would be a later first round pick. So I feel that this is kind of a reach. So for that reason, I'm giving it a B-. And now at spot 17, Raiders drafted tackle Alex Leatherwood. I gotta give this a D. Terrible pick. I had him as like a second or third round pick. If you can get him in the third round, steal. First round, absolutely not. That's all I have to say. Just a bad pick. The Raiders are just being the Raiders here. And now with the Dolphins, they drafted defensive end Jaelan Phillips. I got to give this a B+. I think Jaelan Phillips is a good player. And I know, he transferred, but he's very fast, and I like him a lot. And now with spot 19, the football team drafted Jamin Davis out of Kentucky. I liked him. He's one of my favorite linebackers in this class. I thought he would be a little bit later in the first round, but that doesn't really matter to me because I liked him to begin with. I thought he was a little bit underrated. So, good pick by the football team. Now with the Giants, they picked Kadarius Toney, and I think I have nothing against Kadarius Toney, but I just don't think that wide receivers their biggest need, considering that they have Kenny Golladay, Sterling Shepard, and Darius Slayton. So, yeah, I just don't know why you needed to draft another wide receiver. I'm confused. Now spot 21, the Colts drafted Kwity Paye out of Michigan, and I know he needs a little bit of development, but I love Kwity Paye. I'm giving this pick an A- because I think he's going to be an absolute beast in the Colts defense, and that's just a great pick. So now for number 22, the Titans, they drafted Caleb Farley, and I'm giving this pick an A because a month ago he would have been a 9th or 10th overall pick. So I love this move. If he can stay healthy, you have a top 10 player in this draft. So now at 23, the Vikings, they drafted offensive tackle Christian Darrisaw. I'm giving this pick an A++. I thought they would draft Christian Darrisaw at spot 14, but they stuck to their guns and traded down. And at spot 23, they got the same player that they probably would have drafted at number 14. That's, honestly, that's just a great pick. And now with the Steelers, they selected running back Najee Harris out of Alabama. And I like Najee Harris. The Steelers needed a running back, B+. That's all I'm going to give it. I don't think teams should take running backs in the first round, but I'll make a small exception for this because they just really needed one badly, and there weren't that many great running backs in the second or third round. So now with the Jaguars at spot 25, I gotta give Travis Etienne a grade of B- because I don't like running backs going in the first round, and you have the first pick in the second round, so that's one thing that, there aren't that many great running backs in the second round, but if you're the first pick in the second round, you can just take whoever you want. So I don't get drafting one here. And now with the Browns, they selected quarterback Greg Newsome. And I like Greg Newsome a lot. I'm giving this a B+, but I don't really understand why the Browns need another cornerback since they have Greedy Williams and Denzel Ward. But if it works, it works, I guess. So B+ for that. And now with the Ravens, they selected Rashad Bateman. And I gotta give this pick an A-. The Ravens needed a wide receiver desperately. Lamar Jackson needs to have some options to throw the ball to. And that would just help him a lot in their offense. And I think that would be that final little playoff push. And the Saints, they selected Peyton Turner. I gotta give this a B- just because, I don't know. I didn't like Peyton Turner that much out of college. So, I like the pick. I just don't like the player that much. B-. I think he'll be a good fit, but yeah. So now with the Packers at number 29, Eric Stokes. I like him, but I don't like the pick. You're trying to keep your quarterback. Aaron Rodgers, he's the MVP quarterback. You're trying to keep him in town. Now he wants the general manager fired or he's not going to play for the Packers. Draft a wide receiver. That's all you have to do. Why do the Packers keep messing this up? I don't get it. They didn't do it last year, and they didn't do it this year. Just keep your quarterback happy. That's all you have to do. And now with the Bills at pick 30, they selected defensive end Greg Rousseau. And I got to give this pick an A-. I like Greg Rousseau a lot, and I think he was a top 15 pick in this draft, even after his stock downgraded a little bit. He had a iffy pro day, and that's what I really think dropped his stock a little bit. So I think the Bills got an absolute steal here. And now with the Ravens, they drafted Odafe Oweh, and I got to give this a B+. I liked him a lot. I think he's a very good player, and I think he could be a very big game changer in the Ravens offense, especially with Patrick Queen. And you'll just have a really young, awesome linebacking core. And with the final pick, they selected Joe Tyron, the Bucs did. And I gotta give this pick a C+. I like him semi, not that much, but that's really all the Bucs need. So that I just think they were trying to take the best player available, and I don't think he was the best player available, but yeah, C+. And that's pretty much it for now, and I'm gonna wrap it up with the final words. So guys, that's pretty much it for today, and if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. And if you have any ideas for any further videos, please leave it down in the comments, and that's pretty much it. See you next time.